Hey guys, and welcome to Coffee with Carda, where we will talk all things music and life with the amazing people involved in our industry. We will chat about our experiences, where we are currently at in our careers, and how we're looking to grow and leave our mark on the industry. I hope you enjoy the show. Let's get straight into it. What is up, guys? Welcome again to another episode of Coffee with Carda. Super pumped for this episode because this guest is someone who I've never met, and it's just crazy how music can connect and bring people from kind of across the world together. This guest is from LA, and I'm obviously here in Melbourne. We've actually done a song together, Sacrifices, which by the time this podcast will be out, the song will be out. So you can stream. Yeah. So you can stream and listen to that out everywhere. This guest has been a part of some really amazing things. She signed to Disney Music Publishing as a singer-songwriter, backup vocalist for Selena Gomez, which I'm super curious to hear that story. Written for like the High School Musical redo series on Disney Plus, and heaps of other things, some massive EDM features and all great stuff. So all the way from LA, thanks for joining me, Jordan Powers.
Thank you. Wow, what an introduction.
Yeah, no, I said I've done some digging. There's some credits there.
You did. That's so awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, well, they're worth mentioning because they're amazing credits and things that like a lot of people starting music would, I think reflect on and be like, that's like really cool.
For sure.
Yeah. And I know like you've obviously got so many more goals as we all do to tick off. But before we dive into everything, I like to ask first off, are you tea or a coffee drinker? What have you got?
I am 150 million% a coffee drinker.
There we go.
It's 6 p.m. in Los Angeles right now. So this is water right now. Cause otherwise I wouldn't sleep at all.
Too.
Oh, really? But I went against. It's rise and shine to everyone.
I love it.
It's 11:17 on Friday in Australia.
Yeah. So it is the morning here, but I've already had my coffee. Yeah.
You've already had a coffee.
I've already had a coffee. So if I had another one, it would be like I'd be buzzing through like I'd just
So you're a one coffee type of person. Just one.
Yeah, one, like two maybe.
Yeah, Max. I am very grateful that I've been able to like lessen my coffee intake.
Right.
Because I used to work at a coffee shop, and let me tell you, it was like 5 cups a day. It was no joke. I was not okay.
Oh,
it was
wow.
not okay.
Do you have like withdrawal? Like, have you brought it back? Like,
I mean, I've gone through the coffee withdrawal before. You get like, horrible headaches. It's it's not like it's anything worse than just probably the worst headache you've ever had. But I have had that.
That's insane. I know of people that have like gone to those extremes and then cut back and have massive withdrawals, and it's like so hard to. Yeah, that's brutal. But what's good? We've leveled out now. We're on the waters.
I'm down to 1 cup a day, maybe 2 if I'm like really feeling tired.
Yeah, we're on the same level. I'm very much like that as well. So that's the most kind of affirmed strong answer of coffee. Like I'm a coffee drinker. I've had. Yeah, I love it. Beautiful. Well, let's just jump into like a little backstory into how you got to where you are now, because obviously now you're doing sessions, you're featuring, you're writing, like it's all ticking over and it's busy. Maybe like a really quick recap to how you got to where you are now, and then because I want to talk about all the fun stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I moved out to Los Angeles when I was 18, and I didn't know anybody. I was just kind of like taking part-time jobs. I've worked at a coffee shop. I've worked as a waitress at gyms. I was a choreographer, an assistant to a choreographer for a little while. Okay. And the way that I got in was just by being a friendly person, you know, and keeping in contact. Like, you never know who you're going to meet. And so I met this woman. One time I was in some sort of seminar and she was on Broadway. Her name's Camila, and she was on Broadway, and I was a dancer at the time. And I was like, how do I, you know, she's singing and dancing. I'm like, how do I do what you do? And she was like, let's go meet for coffee. And she ended up being one of the people who was opened a massive door for me. She got me the Selena Gomez gig. And that was honestly, though I had been, you know, in writing sessions with friends and whatnot, that was the kick down of the door that I needed to, you know, make any of the steps that I have since. So thank you, Camila. Love you.
Camila, on you, Camila.
Camila, man, she was great.
Love that.
And so it took years, and it just really was like not giving up and knowing that this was the only thing that I wanted to do, because I was quite broke, like broke.
Yeah, right.
Just trying to stay in Los Angeles, because I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm from the East Coast, and nothing's really happening there with pop music. You know, like you have to move to Los Angeles if you want to do pop music. So
sure, that's crazy. And then, so then you're a backup singer for Selena, and is that like, are you touring? Like, are you?
Yes, yeah, that was her 2016 revival tour. So that was like Hands to Myself, Good for You, all the best,
all the juicy hits.
All the juicy hits.
We love that. It. And was that like just super inspiring to be like, this is like I want to be, like, I don't know, as a singer-songwriter, I never know if singer-songwriters, like, you want to be, you know, do you want to be a singer? Do you want to be a songwriter? Do you want to be both?
Well, that was my, you know, goal when I moved out here. Originally, I was like, I'm going to be a pop star, you know, like I'm going to go find it. And there's not really like a laid out plan for that. There's not really like a book that you can read to be like, how to be a pop star.
That's it.
So thankfully I loved writing as well. And that was something that I could also do, you know? And so, yeah, I've always had that dream. So then when I got that phone call, it's like, do you want to go on tour with a major pop artist? I was like, of course, I've dreamt of this since I was like 9 years old.
That's insane. And then does Disney Music Publishing follow that? Is that?
Yeah. That happened at the end of 2017.
Right.
I've had them ever since. So they're my first pub.
Sorry?
They're my first pub deal. First publishing.
Yeah, unreal. And that was just from, was there a specific something that happened, or was it just, you just kept writing?
So after I got back from tour with Selena, that ended in September.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, I'm not going back to another part-time job. I'm just going to like make content. I made like YouTube videos, Instagram content, all of that, just to like keep myself going. And then my name was brought up to a manager, and we ended up having a meeting, and I ended up signing with him. And 5 months into working with him, he said that there was interest from publishers, and so I should start taking meetings with that. And Disney was actually my first meeting, and it just went. I took others, and Disney was just, it was the best.
It was the right fit. Yeah.
It was the right fit.
That's awesome. That just goes to show like just from perseverance and just like pushing out content and just doing stuff, like things will just tick over. You
have to believe in yourself. You have to just do it. You can't, you can't expect anybody to do it for you. So, and it's a lot of hard work. You know? It's a lot. So, but I'm very happy with where I am and where I am going to continue to go. Yeah. Yeah,
it's amazing. It's a funny one because like during that time, like when you're doing that content, it doesn't seem like, you just seem like why am I doing this? And like, I feel like you just need little wins like along the way to just remind you why and like, you know, a reason to like do it. And it can be tough and it can be lonely, but like, you know, for anyone listening that's an artist or songwriter that's in that kind of rut at the moment, just content and just keep doing.
Yeah,
You're never going to go backwards. You're never going to go backwards. It's always going to be a positive thing, even if like 3 people notice you from one piece of content, and then 5, and then it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like constant, steady up. Like it's just whoever's in the game the longest wins, and whoever wants to kind of play. So
you have to love it. That's another thing that people that I know that you've heard, that I've heard, is if this isn't your one and only thing, like you're not going to just completely dedicate, be obsessed with it, like get out now.
I know, it's all in.
Like that, it's just an all-in career, and as it should be. It's because, you know.
Well, it's like anything. It's like if you want to be a lawyer, like you study to be a lawyer. You don't be a lawyer and like you know, you're something else on the side. Like you generally like you're a lawyer. It's a big, like all these jobs, it's all in. And I think music kind of, it's just scary because at the start.
Because there's no carved out path.
No,
there's no one way to do it. It is trial and error. It's a lot of falling down and getting back up, and it's a lot of like faith, just like keeping up the hope, you know, that it will work out one day. Any day can change your life, you know. So
yeah, that's spot on. So with the publishing, going back to that, have you, like, what are kind of the benefits and the things you've noticed since being published? Because I think being published is still, it's definitely starting to become more known and legit. But I think when people start out, they're like, what is being published?
I had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea. I don't get it.
Like, I want a record deal. Publishing. What's that?
Yeah.
The benefits, I mean, I have a team, and that's always, I'm the type of person that loves to bounce ideas off of people, and hearing other people's opinions, and seeing, you know, where that falls in line with mine or whatnot, and just having people to discuss things with, to help you, to work on the paperwork, because there is administrative work that I don't really want to touch.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, and then like scheduling, like they also have networks that of people that I don't know yet, that they could be like, you know, I want to set you up in a session with this person, see how that works out. And then being with Disney, there's just a ton of internal opportunities as well, like High School Musical and, you know, their Disney Plus movies and stuff like that.
Well, that's a huge one for, like, when Disney, the team announced Disney Plus, you would have been over the moon. Like,
I was so excited. I was so excited just because I'm a Disney fan.
Yeah.
I grew up watching, of course, like Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and all of those movies. They were the things that were on repeat in my childhood. They, you know, formed me. So it's crazy. It blows my mind that I'm working on songs that will be the same thing for younger generations. It's insane to me. I'm just like, oh my god, I'm writing A Whole New World. You know?
Legit.
We're breaking free. Soaring.
It's flying. Love that. It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy because they're like everyone knows like Circle of Life and like A Whole New World and like all these like Disney bangers. Like that's just
Disney bangers.
So yeah. So like, like even with your High School Musical experience, like that would have been, was that like how was that process? Because was it kind of like because it's not always a guaranteed thing. They would have offered you the opportunity. Were you like nervous, like writing? Like, were you like, I don't know, how did that go?
Say nervous. I was excited. They always give you a brief. So they give you, you know, like, this is the type of scene that it's going to be. They give you some examples of what the song could sound like. They're not like telling you what to say or what to do, but like, here's the lane that we want this to be in. And I did 2 on the first season, Wandering and Out of the Old, and I have a couple on the second season that's coming. Well, I mean, I don't know when it's coming out now.
Yeah.
But, and going into the sessions, it starts like any other session. We start from scratch, usually with some sort of line on the piano or guitar, and we just kind of go for it.
Yeah.
And there's like definitely back and forth between the creators of the show and the writers, like the songwriters, where we get notes and everything until it's like perfect, because essentially we are shooting in the dark, you know? So there is like a back and forth, just to be like, well, this would help it, you know?
Yeah. With the direction of where the show's going, etc. Yeah. That's sick. And do you play an instrument, or do you sing? Keys.
No, I don't play anything. I don't play anything.
Oh, you don't? You just have the keys there?
This is here because for show.
For show, yeah. Hey, you know what? That guitar.
It's all a lie.
It's the same thing. That guitar. I don't play guitar.
I have a guitar back there too, and I'm like, I also have like these long nails. So when I play, because I can I taught myself, you know, G, C, A minor. I taught myself all the basic ones. B, the B chords because of the bar chord. Still really hard. I hate it. But so I'm like novice. I can find, you know, C on this. I can find all of that, but don't ask me to
start.
Don't ask me.
Chords.
I don't know.
So, well, that's so interesting, because I reckon a lot of songwriters, like singers, would be like, I don't know how to play an instrument. How am I going to do this? So that's just the beauty of collaboration, because your strength would probably be, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but like hearing chords and then just spitting melodies. Like you would just be, you know, that's your thing. It's like a guitarist is their things, just chord progressions, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Well, before I was working in studios and working like professionally, I would go into GarageBand and just do all these different acapellas. Like I would build things with my voice, and then I would sing over it. Cool. And I also, I don't know, people, I think, you know, probably most singers, or a good chunk of them who write, they just hear I just hear melodies. Like all of a sudden I'll just be like, I don't know. And some people think that's weird, and they're just like, how do you hear a melody outside of without anything? Without instrumentation. I'm like, I mean, there's melodies everywhere. You know? So that's cool. That's really awesome. I find that super interesting. How do you hear? I play piano, so and I've also sung, so I've kind of always had both. Growing up, so I'm a bit of both. Like I'll come up with progressions and then melody, or I'm kind of like you I'll just hear a melody and just voice memo it. All the time. And do that. So it's a bit of both. I'll literally see words and be like, oh, it should go like this. That's crazy. I don't know. That part, it does freak me out sometimes. I'm just like, oh, that's weird. Yeah, right. Well, I mean, we're getting into the songwriting thing, so we might as well talk about Sacrifices and the session, because I don't know anything about that session. Like, I don't even know what happened. I know the people involved now. I know that they're, you know. Tony Ferrari, Jay Co, Brian Ryback, woo. Yeah, like the team, and everyone's awesome. Like the team, I would want to work Jinte and Tony Ferrari and awesome. They're all amazing. Those are my homies, you know, they're sick. Great people. So do you do sessions with them just often frequently. Or? Yeah, pretty frequently. Not every day, but I see Tony more. But yeah, we're buds, and that's so cool, you know, that I get to just go in and work with people that I know and they know me, and it's like comfortable, and you just already have this flow, this synergy.
There's a vibe already.
It's already a vibe.
That's sick. So was that, do you remember a lot of that session?
I actually remember this story. The story of the song is kind of funny, actually.
Okay, yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Because I was at the gym, just on the treadmill, walking on the treadmill. And I actually haven't been to the gym, obviously, since the pandemic started. Yeah. But on the treadmill, I just get ideas. Like, I'm just like, oh, this is, So while I was on the treadmill, I was just like, 10:26. Like I just like wrote it down, like 10:26. Wait, what are the words?
Think you went missing.
Oh yes,
feels like hours, been minutes.
Like I was just like walking.
That's crazy.
That's how I walk on the treadmill.
That's cool.
It's not. And I was 10:26. Think you went missing. Feels like hours, been minutes, and then I was like 2:26, and that's when you hit me.
Wow.
I'm busy. And then I
that's sick.
Wrote down like sacrifices, and you're like, I'm making sacrifices, and you like, I forget exactly what I wrote down, but then that was either the day before the session or that was the morning of the session. And I walked in and I was like, well, what are we going to do today? And I was just like, I don't know. Cause there's always that like awkward moment where you're just like, at the beginning where you're like, so what are we going to do today? And you're just like, is it my idea? Is it your idea? Who's the idea today?
Who's stepping up?
And so I stepped up that day and I was like, well, I wrote this, like, we can see like what we could do with it. And Tony was like, oh yeah, that's sick. I love that. And Jinte and Ryan were working on some production, and Tony and I are just sitting back there, like while they're working, just like typing away on our phones. And I think we wrote it really fast, like really fast.
That's cool.
And then we were like, okay, we have it. And they were like, oh, yeah, sing it to us. And so we did. And they were just like, that's so sick. And then the little hook.
The ooh,
that was Ryan. Ryan was like, ooh, we need something like in there. And they were like, sacrifices.
Yeah, so, big.
So yeah, so I mean, it was a collaborative effort, but that was a really cool way that I loved that story, because I was like, oh, I was just walking on the treadmill. I was like, that's upset about a dude.
Yeah.
Like, 10:26. I think you went missing.
It's a vibe. It's such a vibe.
Little.
That's so funny. It's funny because like a few of the guests we've had on, they've often said like, go take a break, go have a shower, like get away from the space, and that's where your ideas come from. And that's like a perfect example. Like you're on a treadmill, you're not in the zone, but you're just like it's because you're not thinking. It's like your subconscious. It's like you're just in your thing.
Exactly. Because overthinking lyrics is the death of your sanity. It is gone. You're just like, I hate this.
Yeah.
So yes, take a step away.
Take a step
away.
Meditate. Take a break. Take a Kit Kat. Nah, that's awesome. And then did you just record, like you did the vocals on the day? Because what was funny? There was the vocal, and then I think there was another vocal because we were then back and forth, and then you did like a rerun of the chorus again. Do you remember that?
I think that we went in a second time and wrote a bridge.
Right.
That's what we did, and then we did ad libs.
Yeah.
And that was the second session, because we wrote, I just don't think we wrote a bridge, because sometimes you're just like, did we write a bridge?
I know.
Maybe that's something we write a bridge, So yeah, we came in and wrote had an epiphany line.
Yeah, I love, It's a great bridge. It's just crazy. It's funny. It's it's funny how Risha, because I didn't know Ryan. I never met Ryan. Like, prior to that. So I reached out to him with a song that I'd done, and then he showed me the top line, and we just fleshed it out. And here you go. We're releasing. This podcast recorded on the 11th, releasing on the 18th of September, next Friday.
So excited.
So it's really cool. I love how it can just happen like that. Like,
yeah. And you killed the production. It sounds so good. I got to hear it maybe 2 weeks ago. Your management sent it over, and I love it. I'm so honored that you kept my voice on it, and
of course,
we do this together because it's a fun song. And I'm happy that you saw the potential in it, because
for sure,
that's like, every songwriter's hope is that someone's like,
it finds a home.
Hey.
Yeah. I know. Just as a songwriter, just finding a home would just be like, that's a big thing. So no, I'm very grateful. You guys stuck with it and liked it, and it's just cool. Collab from Australia to LA. How's that?
Yep. How is that?
We love that. From down under to LA. What do you call LA? Because like Australia is like down under. I don't know what LA you guys.
I don't know.
What do you say? West Coast?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. No, you don't have.
Really have a.
You don't have a thing. Yeah, us Australians are
LA.
Weird. We're weird Australians.
The City of Angels.
There you go.
No.
Cool. Well, I mean, there's a few other. You've done other EDM features. I want to talk about what have you done? You've done one with Vice Tone, Animals.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Sick.
That song is so fun.
Yeah.
I'm slightly upset that I cannot go out and rage to that in public, because when that song came out, I was like, I'm not like a big drinker, but I was like, I need to rage.
Yeah,
I was like, where are my people? Give me a White Claw. That was sick. I wrote that with my friend Becca Novi. That was another like really fast session. And we just did this we just wanted to do this like really fun, like kind of sing, yell song.
Yeah.
Kind of pop. And and National Geographic was on in the background at the studio.
Really?
We were like, I feel like I'm an animal.
Oh, that's cool.
Literally. So inspired by your surroundings.
Yeah, right. And did you send that? Did you know Vice Tone personally, or?
We did the session with them.
Oh, you did the session with them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was Victor of Vice Tone was there, and he showed us a bunch of tracks, and that was the one that we were like, ooh.
So he had the beat, and then you guys just wrote to that, wrote a top line to it. Yeah, that's mad.
They flesh it out and, rearrange and do all the, transitions, the rises, the stuff like that.
That's it. That's sick. Yeah, well, that's like going amazing. Like that's on a few million streams. Like that's sick.
I just listened to it yesterday actually, and I was just like, woo.
I know. Every time I hear it, it's just like that energy and power. It's like that punch.
Oh my. Yes. Awesome. Thank you.
What do you think makes a good collaboration? Like, what are some things that you notice that like help things kind of move forward?
I think that definitely hearing people out. Like, the worst thing is when you like an idea and the other person's just like, that's shit. And you're just like, okay, well, I want to crawl into a hole and die now.
Yep.
I'm a sensitive person, I'm like, I don't really, I don't want you to think I suck. But so I think, being open-minded is key. And just having fun, like just go in, have a good time. Because the worst when you feel like you have to do something. Just be open to, because you're writing with another creative, so they have a completely different creative process and like creative language and creative world inside of them. They are a different they are a different, like if you think about genres, like every person is a different genre. You all have like each creative has like their own strong suit and like their own vocabulary that they like to use. Conceptually, like, some people are more into like twists where they're just like, this song is it's called this, but it's actually the exact opposite of it. And then some people are like very metaphorical and everything. So it's really just I don't know. I try to just be, for me at least, I try to be as adaptable as possible, always trying to learn something from my co-writer. Like, wow, they're really good at that. Like, just observe them and let people, work in their strengths.
That's a big one. Like listening and learning and just feeling the room almost, like having that sense and awareness. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely reading the room, having that is, the secret sauce to, I think, anything in life. Being able to be in a room and be like, oh, okay, this is how this is going.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's really awesome insight. What's probably getting towards the wrap up stage, I reckon, but I want to know what's next for you, what's on the agenda, because you're at this stage now where you're just in it and it's just happening. But I'm sure you got some cool things coming up. I don't know if you can share everything, but what's kind of goals for you?
Well, there's a couple of projects with Disney that are coming up. I can't say anything about that as right now, but I am very excited about that.
That's sick.
And for myself, I've been working on, in the pandemic, it's like there's no better time to do what you've always wanted to do. We have the time, people are at home. It's like, if you're gonna, you better come out. For me, at least, I've been very like, if I'm not different by the time, this is all over, I've done it wrong. So I've been working on a solo project and I'm very excited about that. I got together with a couple of my friends and close collaborators at the beginning of August. And we just went into the studio for a week straight and came up with 6 really awesome songs, which I was just hoping that we got one. And we got So I'm just like, I'm working on that. It's still in like the revision type phase. We're working on, that's 6 songs. We're working on production and making sure that all of the backgrounds are right. Those ad libs, you can't be having shitty ad libs. Like, they gotta be purposeful, they gotta add to it.
They gotta add. That's it.
They gotta add to it, you gotta be like, ooh. So I'm really excited about that.
That's it.
So that should be next year.
That's amazing.
Year. Yeah.
Is that something, like, you've obviously always wanted to do that?
Always.
Yeah.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Do you think, are you at a stage now where it's kind of like both a like singer and then songwriter, and then it's kind of like see what takes off kind of thing? Or is it you'd always do both?
I know that they're different because they are like, no one else is, I have my team that's helping me with my project, but then outside of that, it's like there's everybody else. So it is 2 different worlds. It's a smaller world, and then it's like this bigger world. But I think that they help each other, like I guess the answer is yes, like I'm going to do both. I'm doing both. And I think they like piggyback off of each other in a way.
For sure.
So
you can leverage off both of those assets. Yeah, it's a great call. I mean, and you've always had the pop star like want to sing in you. So like it's natural. Like a lot of, like, you see, like the Julia Michaels obviously started as that and then went into the, like, now she's touring and doing her own artist project. So I think it's awesome to have those 2 worlds. I think it's almost like a given now. If you're an artist, It's like you're never not going to be really an artist without writing. So
yeah, I do agree with that.
Yeah, that's sick. Well, honestly, I think that's all I had on the agenda, and I think we've covered kind of everything.
Look at us.
Yeah. Thanks. I mean, it's awesome meeting you and actually like chatting and getting to know you more, and obviously about our song and other stuff.
I'm so excited.
I'm pumped. I'm really pumped, and can't wait to see what the future holds for you and
Thank you.
all your stuff coming out. So for those listening, you can catch Jordan on Instagram, J Powers, so JAE Powers at Instagram. And yeah, stay in touch with all her music and songwriting because she's a talent. And there's some exciting things obviously with the Disney. I'm keen to hear the Disney stuff actually.
Yes.
Really pumped for the Disney stuff.
Thank you. You got to go to, there's a couple where you have to go, like I've done a couple theme park songs as well, like over in China. So cool. We got any people going to Disneyland Hong Kong. I think it's Hong Kong.
I think it is. Yeah.
Disneyland Hong Kong. Make sure you stay for the light show at the end.
Oh, no way. You're in the light. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a big event. That's a massive event. Like everyone knows the light show. Of
course, yeah.
At Disneyland. So that's sick. That's sick. Well, on the radar. I mean, Disneyland's definitely on my radar one day.
I know. I want to go back. So I drove past it the other day in Anaheim, and it's closed.
Yeah.
But, I want to go.
Oh man. Well, one day. I mean, we'll be out of it soon. But I mean, it's kind of a blessing, like you said, being in this whole pandemic. We can kind of do our thing and just hone in and focus on it. So
absolutely,
there's positives to come from it. Thanks again for joining, and take care. And I'm sure we'll be in touch in the future.
Yes, we will.
All right, thanks, guys. That's another episode of Coffee with Carda. Thanks for listening. Sacrifice is out. Ciao, peace. Into the outro. Thanks so much for listening to Coffee with Carda. I hope you enjoyed this episode. You can check out my music on Spotify by searching Carda, and feel free to reach out to me on Instagram @CardaMusic on what you thought of the episode. I'll see you next time.